I brought Joe into the studio because I'm a huge Rent a Girlfriend fan. And in this video, we're gonna talk about what I think of Rent a Girlfriend and what he thinks of Rent a Girlfriend. Alright, so I have a lot to say about the show. It is definitely one of my favorite animes in recent years, like probably within the last 5 years.
That's saying a lot for you because you barely watch anime.
Okay.
I'm joking. I know you watch it. Just I watch a lot more than you, but yes.
Anyways, so I want to just get into this, and we're gonna start this off real quick with our just general overlying thoughts of season 1 versus season 2. And just to preface this, there will be spoilers without a doubt. So if you haven't seen Rent a Girlfriend or you're not caught up yet, click out if you don't want to be spoiled. Otherwise, keep watching.
Sweet. Talking about season 1, season 2. I actually do like Rent a Girlfriend. Actually, slice of life anime is always like top of my list genre. But there were definitely differences between season 1 and season 2. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was like the timing of the characters, the amount of screen time. Now we all know that Mizuhara gets the most amount of screen time of any of the characters, unfortunately. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but I did like the shift with like how Sumi got a lot more screen time in the second season versus the first season. I know you're a big Sumi fan, so I like that aspect of it. And the other aspect is like just the progression of the story. Season 1 kind of like felt like more of an introduction to the different characters and like their
100%.
Much of their mindsets, kind of like their sort of like their goals, and then more or less about the relationship building of just Kazuya in general. Whereas season 2 got more serious and tackled more serious relationship problems that, you know, Kazuya runs into because of, you know, potentially being with 4 different women. Well, trying to get with 4 different women. Things got super serious. In my opinion, I think that the season 1 was a good start off, but season 2 took it to the next level.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. It went from lighthearted to very serious very quickly. For a lot of different reasons, not even just the relationship aspect, but also family reasons with Mizuhara's grandma.
Season 2 focused less on the whole aspect of renting a girlfriend and more focused on the relationship aspects of the characters, the relationship to the family, and the giant lie that basically Kazuya and Mizuhara are
getting worse and worse. It came to a breaking point.
There was a breaking point. There's a hole, there's a shovel, and they just keep digging themselves in that hole. They must love it. They absolutely love it.
Kazuya is like 100 feet down now at this point.
There was one gripe I had about season 2. There wasn't enough screen time for Mami. Mami. We'll get into that soon too as well. About my favorite, you know, Rent a Girlfriend girls here.
All right, so we're saying season 2 we actually liked it better than season 1. Is that what we're gonna go with?
I'm gonna go with that.
I agree. I actually really did like season 2. As much as I really liked the playfulness of season 1, I think just the way I was kind of thrown into the whole world in the second season is like,
yeah,
it's a different kind of thing. So
it is.
We've got a lot to say about Kazuya, so we're gonna give you our thoughts on Kazuya now. Kazuya is the main character. We all know him. Maybe you love him, maybe you hate him. Joe, what do you think about
He is
Kazuya?
a Chad. No, I'm just kidding. He is probably the worst main character in any slice of life I've ever met, and that's saying a lot because I've watched like stuff like Clannad and School Days and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's true.
He brings it to a new low, and like he has everything handed to him, and he's doing virtually everything wrong. Like,
I mean, he put himself into this situation to begin with. I don't think he expected it to get this bad, but it's also one of those things where it's like, well, what were you expecting then? Like, you know, and that's why I like the second season too, because he really did, I think, come to realize like he was gonna just totally end it at one point in one episode. He's got, like you're saying, he's got everything handed to him. It's all right there. If he just he needs to open his eyes.
I think a lot of it plays to the fact that he's like young, he's naive, even though he's a college student, he's still young and naive, he doesn't understand things. And that's kind of like the reason why people don't like him, because we can relate, you know, we're watching it and we're like, are you kidding me? Like, come on, man, you have this, you got this. And there's a lot of growing that he still needs to do, but I think he's finally starting to slowly realize that. I get it. He has feelings for all 4 of these girls to some extent. They're more than others, but he can't have his cake and eat it too, and he needs to make a choice, and he's not seeing that right now because, you know, he's just not being able to make the right decision, and that's what he needs. He needs to make the right decision.
Right.
And
I mean, he literally has 2 girls, like Ruka and Sumi, both are basically after him.
Yeah.
And I think he's clearly aware of Ruka.
After the kiss.
Clearly,
after the kiss.
I mean, he's known that for a while, and that kiss really
solidified it right off the bat.
Amplified it.
Yeah.
But you know, like, and that with Sumi, I think he's just oblivious to it. I don't think he's catching on that she's really that into him. But he's just so dead set on Mizuhara, which this we might get flack for, because I could see some people like really being Team Mizuhara and be like, yeah, that's who he's really after, you know, he's sticking to his guns. But I don't know, man, is Mizuhara really the right one for him? And that's where we're gonna get into that. So speaking of these 4 girls in this show, who is the best girl in the Rent-A-Girlfriend?
Mami-chan.
That's wrong. Listen, if any of you out there are Mami fans, I'm gonna have to have a word with you, okay? We're gonna have to have a word. It's not gonna go well. Me in the DMs, give me your best reasons, okay?
Do you mind if I go first on this one? I know everyone has a lot of flack for Mami-chan. Heck, even merchandising has issues with Mami-chan. Like, I can never sell merchandise by her. And I understand. She's callous. She comes off as a very cold-hearted person wearing a mask, that she's like this like cheerful girl, you know. I get that. You know, I do. Audience, I understand your frustration and your pain. However, out of all 4 girls, Mami-chan is the most realistic of the girls. Unfortunately, Ruka happens, and don't get me wrong, I love Ruka to death, but she's blinded by Kazuya no matter what happens. Sumi happens to be very, you know, shy and reserved, and she kind of knows but kind of doesn't. And Mizuhara, I just don't like her at all because she steals the entire show and I just don't like her. But Mami-chan sees through the facade. And yes, I get it that Mami-chan is the one who started this whole thing, who broke her heart. But then again, it was Mami-chan's decision to break up with Kazuya, and Kazuya is the one who took it down the road that he did, not Mami-chan. And then everything started. So you can't blame Mami-chan for the whole thing that happened. I mean, if someone were to break up with me, it's my fault what happens after that, you know? She may still have feelings for him, which is fine, but as of right now, he is still single. He doesn't have a real girlfriend. She's coming off as like a callous person to these other girls because they know that these girls are basically a means to an end. And I think deep down she really does have feelings for him, but it's harder for her to show, especially considering her upbringing. Mami actually has a tragic backstory.
This is true.
And if you read the manga, you'll understand why she is the way she is, and a lot has to do with her home environment. So that's why I like Mami. I'm always going to be Team Mami at the end of the day. I don't know why. That's just me, though. I don't know why. I was really drawn to her mystique.
Uh-huh. You know, you make some good points. The tragic backstory is just, it's hard, you know, coming with that. It's tough. I get it, but
Mami-chan is a fake ass, spiteful, vengeance-seeking.
All right,
what do you think? What do you think I should be here? The Sumi supremacy you guys always say in the chat?
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's exactly right. Everybody say it with me. Sumi supremacy. Sumi supremacy.
You know, a lot of cults are based on fictitious lies like this, but it's okay.
Sumi is the only one that I think really gets Kazuya. All right, hear me out here. So beyond her just being cute and also just, you know, just the shyness, like all that adds to, like, she's the epitome of cuteness in anime. So beyond, if we go past the cute factor, she gets Kazuya. Kazuya needs someone in his life that will push him and take care of him, because he is hyperextending himself out for Mizuhara to such an extent that he doesn't realize he's just going in circles and nobody's actually watching out for him. Ruka is all about the physical aspect. She wants Kazuya for the physical romantic aspect of a relationship. Mami is just jealousy in a relationship. I think that summarizes her. Mizuhara is what I think Kazuya wishes and wants in a relationship, but there comes a point where you have to realize where maybe it's best staying friends. So he's in Mizuhara's life to just help her through a time, as we're seeing in season 2, that she needs him most. And I think that's why we're seeing, like her starting to develop feelings for him. But I'm still not confident that the feelings she's developing for him are actually like sound like romantic feelings. I think she's just developing feelings of like, wow, he's actually a good guy, and genuinely at his heart and his core, he's doing the best he can for her. So, but I just don't think that she's the best for a relationship with him. Sumi, again, is in a place where she gets Kazuya. She got him a birthday gift. She wanted to talk to him and she wanted to hear his side of stories and everything. She gets Kazuya. She's the one for Kazuya. Focus on Sumi only. If Mizuhara wasn't in this show, she'd be the one. So how do we think this show's gonna end?
In my opinion, here's what I think is gonna happen. I think that eventually, you're gonna get a lot of flack for this. I think what's gonna happen here is that Kazuya is gonna finally figure out that Mizuhara is more of a friend, just like you had said, and then Ruka, being too intense, figures out that like it's like too much. Sumi never makes a connection whatsoever because of her shyness, and then it'll ultimately be Mami and him getting back together because they finally come to a understanding.
I didn't actually know your take on that. That's really how you think.
So I think I think it started with Mami. I think it's going to end with Mami. And that's what I think is honestly going to happen. He's going to finally understand. He's going to finally understand the tragedies that happened, and he's going to have a newfound life for her. And because yes, she has the jealousy tendency stuff going on, which I get. She's going to finally start to see a different side of Kazuya because he's starting to grow a little bit more and become more dependable, especially within the last couple episodes of season 2. You can start to see that. I think that's going to shine a little bit brighter. And I think ultimately it's going to be Mami at the end of it, with him finally rekindling the relationship they had and taking it to the next level, while still maintaining the friendship of both Ruka and Sumi. And Mizuhara might as well, like I said, be friends, but not to the extent of where it is right now. That's how I think it's going to end.
Wow. I actually went into this not knowing how he thought this was going to end. I actually didn't think that
yeah, that's literally, I've thought about this ending since season 1.
Dude, okay, that's an interesting take.
Yeah.
I could see that, but I would also riot if the ending was that.
Some characters end up being hated, but then being liked in the end. It happens in anime all the time, and I would love to see a twist like that.
Or you could have the absolute most perfect of perfect conclusions, which would be that he ends up with Sumi. Because she's been unassuming this entire time, just kind of in the background. She had one episode in season 1. She had a couple more cameos in season 2, but compared to the rest of the characters, still not as much screen time. So she's kind of chilling in the background, and but we saw her blossom. She even confessed to Kazuya. I felt, dude, that was one of the top 10 saddest anime moments. She literally confessed, and he totally missed it. She's putting her heart out on the line for him, and I think eventually he's gonna come to realize that. And because we got more Sumi in season 2, I'm hoping that that's gonna just grow and grow. She even has her own spin-off.
Yeah,
she literally has her own. Where is it?
She does have her own spin-off. You're absolutely right. We call that merchandising.
Literally has her own manga series. This is this is Ryan's wish, that Kazuya ends up with Sumi because he realizes, and Mizuhara realizes, that they are better to be just best of friends, and they are there for each other when they need each other. But Sumi is what he actually needs in a proper romantic and loving relationship. Like, that is true love. And I think hopefully he'll eventually realize that one day in some future seasons. We'll see how things play out.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I do want to see how this ends.
Well, on that, who's best girl? How is Rent a Girlfriend going to end? Leave it in the comments below.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yep, you know where to find us at Imouri Shop on all social media, Imouri.com for all your original anime streetwear needs. Peace out, guys.